Dennis Theodore Goldberg was born on the 11th of April 1933 in Cape Town. The political activist was a member of the South African Communist Party. He later became a founding member of the Congress of Democrats, an ally of the ANC. He was one of the first white members of Umkhonto we Sizwe. A civil engineer by training, he would later be tasked with making weapons for the movement. Speaking from hospital after being diagnosed with lung cancer, the stalwart explained why he joined the struggle.
Why did I, a privileged white civil engineer, first generation, a whole life of wealth ahead of me, why would I give it up? Out of conscience. Because if you believe in justice and freedom, either you act to make it happen, or you're part of the oppression. And I grew up in a political home. My parents were communists. I grew up during World War II. People all over the world sacrificed for freedom, not just the soldiers, ordinary people fighting behind the lines. And I had to be involved.
Goldberg was also the only white MK operative sentenced to life imprisonment during the Rivonia trial alongside Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu and others.
We were all known to the security police. Many of us had been partially underground. I'd left home, I'd gone to Lily's Leaf to be underground. It was the most exciting time. The revolution's round the corner. And then came the raid and arrested. And suddenly it was like being ice water poured over you. And that's the end. I didn't know we would get a trial. I was pretty sure either we would be tortured to death or classically shot while attempting to escape. And I did escape and was recaptured from Vereeniging prison, but I wasn't shot, luckily. And then came this charge with the death penalty as an almost certainty. And to have people like Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Govan Mbeki, and my other comrades. And Nelson said, we're not going to apologize. Our defense is that apartheid is a brutal, unjust system and has to be overthrown.
Convicted under the Sabotage and Suppression of Communism Act, Goldberg vividly recalled how he and stalwarts like Walter Sisulu and Nelson Mandela faced the death penalty.
The prosecutor, Dr. Utah, he tried to humiliate Walter Sisulu in every way that a racist, white, educated doctor of laws can try, with a man who had 6 years of school. But Walter Sisulu was one of our leading intellectuals. He turned Utah inside out. Utah would say, answer me, I want an answer. And he said, well, you've asked a very difficult question. I will explain it to you. And he kept his cool through 4 days of very heavy cross-examination. And I think Nelson's speech and Walter's cross-examination in particular, I think affected the judge. I think it affected the world. I think it probably, I still can't explain why we weren't hanged. But what it showed was that this wasn't a bunch of hotheads. These were serious people who studied, who thought, who explained, who had a vision.
Goldberg would be sentenced to life imprisonment and spent 22 years behind bars at the Pretoria local prison, reserved for white prisoners, while his black comrades were sent to Robben Island. After his release in 1985, he went into exile in London, where he continued the work of the ANC abroad. He returned to South Africa in 2002 and served as a ministerial advisor until 2004. The selfless freedom fighter and avid art collector was one of only 2 remaining Rivonia trialists. He survived by his comrade and last remaining Rivonia trialist, Andrew Mlangeni. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.